Hey everyone, welcome to Youth Bombs. I'm Craig,
And I'm Olivia.
and we're the voice of young conservatives in Alachua County. Today we're covering this week's presidential debate with Donald Trump and Kamala Harris. So, Olivia, what are your initial thoughts and expectations from it?
Well, obviously, I thought Trump did better than Kamala. I liked his answers, his policies that he's proposing. However, I was kind of disappointed in his overall performance. I feel like he could have been a lot stronger in his answers, a lot clearer too. There were a lot of like vague between the both of them. There's a lot of vague answers between the two about kind of key issues such as abortion, immigration, Israel, foreign policy, whatnot. And I feel like he has a lot of means to really go in and I wouldn't say attack, but like really like go in there and explain his stances hardcore. And I feel like he failed to do that. I think kind of showed in the polls. I don't think he necessarily won that debate as far as moderates go.
Yeah, I did see one statistic that had 10 undecided voters, so pretty small sample size, but six of them decided to back Trump or were leaning towards Trump. Three backed Harris, and one was still undecided. So
Hmm.
that bit is encouraging, but we'll see as time goes on, especially with the second debate coming, how that could play into things. I agree that he could have been more specific on policy and really gotten in more detail as far as his plans go, and particularly on the healthcare issue, what his plan for health insurance nationally is and how we can strengthen markets so that health insurance is cheaper and more affordable for everyone while still maintaining good quality and getting rid of the disaster that Obamacare is. So I would have liked to see more specifics on that. And I think he did get dragged down a bit into some non-related topics like the size of his rallies. One moment that stuck out to me was when he told Harris to go down to Pennsylvania Avenue, wake up Joe Biden, and get him to sign an immigration restriction bill. What did you think of that, Olivia?
I mean, I really like it. I mean, immigration is a big issue and it's bleeding over into a lot of different issues that we're experiencing, such as drug use, crime and safety on the streets, trafficking issues. So for the Kamala Biden administration to, or the Harris Biden, excuse me, administration to just kind of ignore, kind of dance around those issues is really egregious because it's affecting everyone, particularly middle America. So when he is hitting abortion, or sorry, excuse me, immigration really hardly, I think it's a good thing, and I think that appeases to a lot of voters because, random people just walking down the street can see the difference. And I'm thinking about New York City.
Hmm. Absolutely. Yeah, we know that about 116 hotels in New York City are housing illegal immigrants.
Right.
So, certainly a challenge when we have so many homeless veterans in the country who need help and they're being cast aside while people who come here illegally get the benefits. So, I think Trump was right to point out what's going on and how disastrous the Biden-Harris immigration policy has been and the damage it's doing to the country, especially in Springfield, Ohio, where they dumped 20,000 migrants into the city. And like Trump said, they're eating the pets, they're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats.
Yeah, and when he said stuff like that, I thought that's like the old Trump that people really like. Few criticisms that I had were just this main two, and it's that he's not big on Project 2025. And if you really think about Project 2025 and you really like read what was written in those what like 9,900 pages, some like ridiculous amount, it actually isn't that bad. And a lot of prominent conservative think tanks, such as Young America's Foundation and Heritage Foundation, they wrote that and they're well respected within the conservative and political spheres. So for him to kind of want to distance himself from it, I feel like it's not great to the average conservative voter. Another issue that I didn't like is his stance on abortion. A lot of conservatives want him to come out and just say that he's pro-life, and he kind of dances around like the term limit. You know what I'm saying? It
Mm,
is true that it's down to the states, so that is his stance, and that's true. That's legally what is happening. But I wish he would share more of his thoughts about it.
hmm. Right. It is encouraging to see that he'll be voting no on Amendment 4 here in Florida, which would make Florida the abortion capital of the South. So,
Mhm.
really disastrous stuff there. I think that he does have strong pro-life bona fides in him, but he could be stronger on the issue. The problem is that it's not popular enough with the electorate to get a victory out because we've seen in states like Ohio and other reasonably red states that have had abortion referendums, the pro abortion side continues to win. And it's
Mhm.
unfortunate because these people are not protecting life, but that's what we have is this problem where there's just a large pro-abortion contingent of the electorate. So I
Yeah.
think it's fantastic that he was able to get Roe v. Wade overturned, turn it
Oh,
back to the
definitely. Yeah.
states, and then no taxpayer funds for abortions here in America or worldwide. So
Yeah,
if
no,
you're
I think that's great.
pro-life, yeah, if you're pro-life, Trump is your candidate. But
Oh,
I,
definitely.
yeah, absolutely. But would like to see him back more pro-life policy in an ideal world.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. And obviously that one's such a tricky one because a lot of people have a lot of different opinions about it, and it's such a personal issue. They did spend between the both of them a long time in the beginning, like over 20 plus minutes, talking about abortion. And I feel like I wanted to hear more about what they thought about funding in Israel or the immigration issue. And there were a lot of other issues, like fiscal issues, that they didn't touch on as much in depth as they did abortion. I also feel like Kamala, she definitely felt threatened and was worried about going in. And I know there's suggestion that she was locked away for 5 days in a hotel room, just kind of rapid fire, preparing, memorizing things. Um, but she spent a lot of time using those catchphrases of saying that he's a criminal and, the prosecuted and, committed like those crimes. And to the average voter who doesn't look into the policies or into the news, that kind of worked in her favor.
Right. I think that she did have some sound bites, and that's going to be beneficial for her. It does seem like, virally speaking, Trump is doing better, particular with his closing statement and the statement on the eating animals in Springfield, Ohio. Um,
Yeah, her closing
but
statement was awful.
right, exactly. Very, very weak stuff.
Yes.
She was able to memorize the lines that she needed to. Speaking of, leading report had a recent report out today, Wednesday, sorry, Thursday, showing that an ABC employee actually has an affidavit or will be coming out with one that the network shared sample questions with the Harris campaign that were similar to what was asked in the debate. So, given that the moderators seem to be on Harris's side, would that surprise you at all, or do you think it's fake news?
I mean, not at all. The Democrat Party has been known in the past couple of years to lie and cheat about things, and now they do it kind of openly. Like they don't really care. Like they didn't really try to hide this too much. I mean, there was suggestion even before she went on stage that she was, getting prepped and memorizing answers. And I think it showed because she did significantly better than she usually does, and I think it's because of that preparation. She's never really answered, questions that she hasn't memorized beforehand. So, obviously more evidence and concrete, evidence needs to come out about it, but because it is a quite egregious thing that they're accusing her of, and but I can see it as very plausible.
Hmm. Yeah, absolutely. I think more details will be to come, and we'll see how that story pans out. Because if true, then ABC certainly has no place in honest reporting. and their coverage is almost entirely positive for Harris and almost entirely negative for Trump. So really, it's a biased network, just like CNN. It's not neutral, it's not moderate. They have a side and they're sticking to it. The
Right.
moderators continued to interject in favor of Kamala, which I didn't like. They were not like the previous debate with Trump and Biden, where the moderators were relatively neutral. They kept interjecting their own opinions and doing fake fact checking on Trump that was nonsense. So,
Right.
did
Well,
you
I'm
feel
looking.
like they were, yeah, too involved?
Yeah, I think so. They definitely were, always interjecting, but I'm looking forward to the VP debate on October 1st. Because JD Vance is a great speaker, and he's also, as we know from his CNN interview, he's a good speaker, like under hard questions, under, high pressure questions. So, it'll be interesting to see how Tim Walz compares to him, because my impression of Tim Walz is that he's a little more milk toast.
Yeah, exactly. And I believe it was CNN's Dana Bash who said the other night that the Harris campaign is trying to appeal towards low testosterone men with the Walls pick.
Right.
So he certainly fits that bill. We'll see how it plays out for them. JD Vance, he'll be articulate. He's strong on the issues. I think he's really going to lay out what a second Trump term will look like and is going to effectively communicate what his role in a Trump administration would be, as VP roles can really differ based on the president and how much authority they want to give them in delegation. And we know that Harris has completely fallen flat, worse than that, as borders are, and anything would be an upgrade from her.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think the Vance Trump combination is going to be very powerful, and I think the people they're going to put in their cabinet are going to be very powerful. And I think if even if you don't agree with Trump on every single virtuous issue or every single fiscal issue or every single social issue, I think you have to consider that. What are his policies? What are his cabinet members representing?
Mhm. Absolutely. Plus the alliance with RFK Jr. and his willingness
Yeah, that was
to reach
huge.
across the aisle. Yeah,
That was
and
huge.
get good things done in the name of America and the American people.
Definitely.
Any closing thoughts?
I mean, if you want to save America, vote for Trump.
Right, exactly,
Overall,
absolutely.
overall. So yeah.
hmm Well, thanks everyone so much for watching. We really appreciate it. We upload every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 1 p.m. If you'd like to get in touch with us, feel free at youthbombs@alatrorepublicans.com. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Thanks so much.